So, good afternoon, all. Again, we are going to discuss the further sections of assessment of taxes. In the previous section, we talked about section 59 and 60. Now, we'll move ahead with the further sections here. Now, we'll be taking up section 61, that is scrutiny of returns. Now, under section 59, we talked about the assessment under self-assessment. Then in section 60, we talked about the provisional assessment. Now, in section 69, we will be talking about the assessment that is under section 61, we will be talking about the scrutiny of returns. Now, the scrutiny of returns here means that the return has already been filed, the taxes have already been paid. Now, the proper officer will go for the scrutiny in the sense that if he feels that there is any sort of discrepancy, there is any sort of lackness in the returns that has already been filed, then in that case, the proper officer can go for the scrutiny of such returns. So first point here, that is the scrutiny by the proper officer. Now under this point, the proper officer may scrutinize the return and related particulars furnished by the registered person here to verify that the correctness of the returns and inform him accordingly about the discrepancies, if any is there, as per the scrutiny that is being done by the proper officer. And it might be possible that the proper officer may seek the explanation of the taxable person, and this whole process should be done within 30 days. It should not exceed the time gap of 30 days. So in the case if any proper officer feels that the scrutiny has to be done for any return that has already been filed, and he thinks that there is any sort of discrepancies, any sort of lackness is there, for which he can call up the taxable person who has filed the returns, and accordingly the decision can be taken, like what all are the discrepancies, what all are the reasons for the discrepancies, and accordingly the case will be dealt. Then next point, it says about the communication to the registered person. Then in case the explanation is found acceptable, whatever the explanation has been given by the registered person, if that explanation is found acceptable, then the registered person shall be informed accordingly and no further action shall be taken in this regard. So that simply means that if the proper officer is fully satisfied with the with the explanation that is being furnished by the registered person, then of course there will be no further proceeding, and the return will continue as it is. But if in case, the next point says action by the proper officer, it is in the case where the proper officer is not satisfied with the explanation or with the data that has been furnished by the taxable person, then if the discrepancy are there in the returns, or the taxable person fails to take the corrective measures in the return in that he has already filed for the month, or you can say if any sort of you can say lackness is there from the part of the registered person, then in that case the proper officer can take certain actions against the taxable person, and that actions can be, he can order for the audit that is under section 65 of the act, or the special audit that is under 66 of the act. This audit part we'll be studying in the third unit. So for now, you just need to know that these actions can be taken by the proper officer. Like he can go for the audit, he can go for the special audit. These two are the different types of audits which the proper officer can conduct. Then it can order for the inspection, search, or seizure. These all are the terms that we will be discussing. They have its meaning in the GST Act. So we will be discussing that in detail in third unit. But for now, you need to understand that if the proper officer is not satisfied with the explanation given by the registered person, then he can order for audit, a special audit, or he can order for the inspection of his office, or order for the search or the seizure, or initiate any further determination of the taxes or any liability that is still pending on the part of the registered person. So this is section 61, which tells you that if the return has already been filed and the proper officer is not satisfied with the return that has been filed, he can go for further, call for further explanation from the registered person. And if he is satisfied with that explanation, the thing will get over there only. And if he is not satisfied with the explanation or the what the documents have been submitted by the registered person, then the proper officer can go for these actions as mentioned under point number 3. Then moving ahead with section 62. Section 62 talks about the assessment of non-filers of returns. Non-filers of return here means the person who is a registered person, but he has not filed up the returns. So as you can see here, the proper officer may proceed to assess the tax liability where a registered person first, it fails to furnish monthly or the quarterly returns or the final returns. Like if any case he has not been able to file the returns, may it be the monthly return, or in case if he is required, like for the composition scheme, he is required to fill up the quarterly returns or the final returns. So if any case he misses out any sort of returns that he needs to make, then in that case this assessment can be done for the non-filers under section 62. And also, a notice has been issued by the proper officer to the defaulting taxable person requiring him to furnish the returns, but the taxable person fails to file the return within a period of 15 days. So that simply says that if the notice has also been served from the proper officer to any of the defaulting taxable person, and that defaulting taxable person fails to file the return within 15 days, then in that case also the assessment will go under section 62 for non-filers, under the category of non-filers. So in this case, we call this section 62. Under this, whatever is the best judgment method, we call this as. In this case, whatever is the situation, depending upon the understanding of the proper officer, like whatever information he has for the case, availability of that information will lead to the best judgment by the proper officer, like whatever proper officer thinks that is best in that situation, like a best decision whatever the proper officer can take depending upon the relevant information that he has under his pursuit. That decision he can take in such a situation. So that is called as the best judgment assessment here in the section under section 62. Now, the important point as I marked here is that if the registered person furnishes a valid return, like the person previously was not able to file the return, but from passing of the order for the assessment, within 30 days, if he files the valid return, whatever is the discrepancy in the return filing, if he files it within 30 days from the service of the assessment order, then in that case, the assessment order shall be deemed to be withdrawn. But the liability for the payment of interest or late fee shall continue. Like whatever is the best judgment that has been given under this situation by the proper officer will stand withdrawn if the taxable person files his proper return within 30 days of the service of the assessment order. But if in case the assessment order contains any sort of payment of fees or the interest, then that fee or interest or penalty shall be there, which the taxable person needs to furnish. But that special order that is being passed under the best judgment, that will stand withdrawn. I hope the section 62 is clear. It is dealing with the assessment of the person who has not filed the returns. Then section 63, that is assessment of unregistered person. Now section 63, where we are talking about the assessment of unregistered person. Unregistered person means any person who is liable to pay the taxes but is not registered. So where a taxable person who is liable to pay the taxes, but maybe due to certain situation he fails to obtain the registration, or maybe those registrations has been cancelled due to certain reasons as specified in section 29.2. Like section 29.2 talks about the composition scheme levies, that if the person is not furnishing the returns for 3 consecutive years, 3 consecutive tax periods under composition scheme, or if the person needs to get himself registered but the time lapses and he is not able to get himself registered, then if in the case of any you can say fraud or willful misstatement or suppression of fact has been done for the registration, then his registration has got cancelled. Then under these situations, if the registration get cancelled, then in that case the assessment of that person will be done under section 63. So here, the proper officer may proceed to assess the tax liability of the unregistered person, again with the help of the best judgment assessment, whatever information the proper officer is having, as per those information, as per those data or the documents, he can take the best judgment assessment in this case under section 63. But before making the assessment, as I have mentioned here also, that before making the assessment, the proper officer should inform the taxable person, mentioning that this is the reason why the and this is the reason, this is the ground why this as you are being assessed under section 63 as the unregistered person, and if you need to furnish your reply, it should be given within 15 days, because no proper officer can pass any judgment under this section without giving a proper opportunity to the person to be heard for his reasons that why he has not done the compliances under GST. So if the person is not able to reply within 15 days, or he is not giving any sort of explanation for his discrepancy, then the proper officer will proceed with the assessment orders, and the taxable person will be abided by that. So in this case, the maximum time limit for issuing the order is 5 years from the due date for furnishing the annual return. So the date from which the annual return needs to be furnished, from that date till 5 years is the maximum order, maximum period under which the person can be assessed under section 63. Then moving ahead with the section 64. Section 64 talks about the summary assessment in certain special cases. Now, this is not the ordinary assessment, but under certain special cases where any of the proper officer, any of the additional commissioner, like joint commissioner, they feel that in any case the revenue of the government is hampering, or they feel that there is any sort of discrepancy that has happened, or any sort of you can say loss is there for the government, interest of revenue is getting hampered of the government, then in that case the additional commissioner or joint commissioner can go for the summary assessment. So under the summary assessment, they need to further assess the accounts of the, you can say the assessee, or they can ask the assessee to further furnish the details. And if after furnishing of the details, if the additional commissioner or the joint commissioner, they are satisfied with the details, then they can withdraw their like summary assessment within 30 days. Or if they feel that okay fine, they are satisfied, then in that case on his own motion they can further withdraw the orders. So if like suppose if they have issued the summary assessment, and before issuing they call on the applicant, they call on the taxable person, and if on the application of the on the reply of the, or on the explanation of the taxable person, they are satisfied with the explanation, then they can themselves withdraw the assessment within 30 days from the receipt of order. Or maybe later on, with the further assessment of the documents or the details that is being furnished, they are satisfied with the explanation, then they can himself withdraw by their own motion the order that has already been passed. So these all are the 6 sections under the assessment of taxes, where we have studied under section 59 the self-assessment. Then under 60 we talked about the provisional assessment. Then under 61 that was a scrutiny of returns, where returns has already been filed but the discrepancy has been found out by the proper officer. So in order to verify that discrepancy, we go for the assessment under section 61. Then we talked about section 62, where assessment of non-filer of returns was there. Non-filer of returns here means the ones who are registered person, but in any case they are not able to file the monthly or the quarterly or final returns. Then in section 63 we talked about the assessment of unregistered person, where the person should be registered, but due to any reason they are not registered, they are unregistered, or their registration got cancelled. Then how the assessment will be done. And finally it is the summary assessment in certain special cases under section 64, where in order to assess that the proper officer feels that if there is any loss of revenue or loss of interest for the government, then in that case they can proceed the assessment under section 64. So these all are the points under assessment of taxes. We'll meet up again for some new topics. Thank you.